The study of the chimp's strength does not take into consideration the aggression of a chimpanzee, the aggressive nature of a chimpanzee, which is true. But how much does that matter? As a professional fighter and a professional martial arts teacher, I know a lot about aggression and how it influences the fight. And let me tell you something. When people start out and they have no information about fighting, they have no education in fighting, all that matters in that fight is one person may be stronger and bigger than the other person. And then the second factor, yes, one may be much more aggressive. And many times when we observe humans in the natural habitat, I've worked as a bouncer for several years, then we see that a smaller, lighter male, mostly individual, that is very aggressive, can easily overcome and defeat a much bigger but less aggressive opponent. That happens many times. Mostly it's just that smaller men are more aggressive usually. And many times, people under influence of substances, junkies and stuff, they're thin and they're extremely aggressive. They're like all out. They're on the white powder and stuff. They have zero held back. And we see what happens when such an incredibly aggressive, zero hold back, pumped up, full on amphetamine or coke and whatever stuff attacks an unsuspecting human. They do whatever they want to. Many times they will end the life of the other person, seriously injure them. We've all seen the videos or even just read the newspapers, they eaten their face and stuff like that. It's crazy what those junkies do. And take that into consideration, what extremely aggressive people do to other people. And now, as a bouncer or law enforcement officer, these people face junkies like that, people on substances who go all out crazy, all out aggressive, all the time. That's almost daily business, having somebody completely freak out. Many times it's under substances, sometimes it's just somebody has lost any kind of connection to the now or the worth of their life, and they just go all out, whatever it may be. Their wife cheated on them or whatever, and now they go bad shit, man. They go full on. And whatever they done to the other persons before, for a trained violence professional, we just contain them. It's quite easy. I've encountered that situation many times in my life as a bouncer. People of the weight and height as I described, that are to expect to have about the same level of strength as a chimpanzee. They have teeth as well. They can and try to bite. They spit, they scratch. Sometimes they have a tool they will try to use against you. And as a professional, you can contain them. They're really not that dangerous, They move in such a way that for an untrained person, they are completely unpredictable and way too fast. A normal person doesn't even see what's happening. But if you're trained in fighting, you know the movement patterns. And it's quite easy to see, I, as a trained professional, I can stay calm in that situation. I can hold them. I can take them down. I can punch them if I will so. It's actually not even that difficult. And that you have to realize the huge fundamental difference in fighting ability beyond strength, beyond size, beyond aggression, the mental capacity, the pattern recognition capacity, the hand-eye coordination, the timing capacity of a trained martial artist, of a trained violence professional, of a trained professional fighter. You have to realize how much beyond that is. It's not just more of that. It's literally or virtually, it's a different world altogether. It's so completely, profoundly different the way that I fight and the way that I perceive fighting and violence is so profoundly different from the way an untrained human looks at fighting. It's almost impossible to explain. When I worked as a bouncer, when a person completely loses their cool, most of the times I'm not even getting nervous, I'm not even getting into fight mode. To me, it feels very much the same as when a toddler gets crazy and I just have to hold them and calm them down. And they realize that they will hurt somebody, but at the same time, I have the absolute certainty that they are completely incapable of hurting me. So I don't even feel threatened in any way at all. At all. You know, I just look at it and I'm like, okay, and I can just boom and hold them down. It's hard for me to explain, but the best comparison really is that the level difference between a professional fighter and an untrained human adult is the same as that between an untrained human adult and a kindergartner. Which is to say that if you realize whatever the kindergartner will try to end your life and he's going crazy, but whatever he's trying, he's just incapable of doing it against you as an adult. And it is the same. Whatever an untrained normal adult man is doing, whatever substances he's taking, however much he's losing his cool, however much he's trying to attack me and end my life, unless he's got a serious, like a blade at least, there's just simply not a chance at all. So I compare that. I think that we can assume a chimpanzee has about, like a 40, 50 kilogram chimpanzee has about the strength, according to science, of a 70 kilogram adult man. So I take a 70 kilogram adult man who's full on white powder, and then goes into extreme aggression mode where he has no concern for his own safety and absolutely zero concern for anybody else's safety. And then I imagine how difficult or not difficult it is to contain that individual. I hope that explanation makes it tangible for somebody who is not as trained in martial arts to understand how I imagine that situation based on my very profound experience.